There we go.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And then what I'll do is I will share it. It's so we're streaming live now. Welcome to another one of these live streams. I'm Bow Wow Bill. We have Evan joining us. Evan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. We were just talking about how city life kind of sucks. I almost got stuck in traffic, but luckily I drove like a maniac.
Drove fast, take chances.
But dude, live life, man. You live life, right? And
In the best
now we're
way.
here. Yeah.
With our beagles, we're here.
Oh man. You know what? Somebody asked in that group, like I think it was Dogs Chatting or something like that. They're like, "What is your most hated dog breed?"
Oh God.
And
Yeah.
people were like, "Beagle."
I get it, but I don't at the same time.
I'm like, dude, that's one of my favorites.
Right. Well, look, I even named the whole thing's named after her. She's the logo.
Scarlet.
Yep.
That's her name. How old is Scarlet now?
8-ish, something like that.
You know, they're considered senior citizens at 8 years old.
Don't tell her that.
I won't. But maybe you get a discount, senior discount or something like that.
Hey, I'm down for that.
But so, why don't you tell people where you're located at, Evan? And
Sure. Yeah, I'm in. What's up?
I said we've already got that you are the owner of Scarlet, or dog training, Canine, and you're out of where?
Baltimore, Maryland.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been doing that?
So I've had the business for about 1.5 years now, but I've only been training dogs seriously, I would say, for about 3.5, maybe 4 years.
Awesome.
You know, I went to college, local college, and I got my degree in jazz performance for trombone. And then when I left, I did what most people do after they go to college, is I get a job that has absolutely nothing to do with what they did in college. So I worked at a interactive dog daycare and boarding facility.
Wild.
And where we would have upwards of 200 dogs a day and 4 play groups. It was a nightmare. The whole thing was a nightmare. For 2 years I lived that. And then, you know, one thing led to another, and then I left, and then I had to sit out a 2-year non-compete. So in those 2 years, I just learned as much as I could. I put myself in a position to just be around the right people, and then I went to silver school, went to gold school, learned all my NAPO, and then I opened the business the day that I legally could, and then now we're here.
So, what did you think of silver school, man?
Silver school was a big eye opener.
Okay.
Definitely, having just pretty much silver school, like I said, was right when the pandemic started. It was like the week the pandemic started. So before then, it was just all online learning for me, and trying to just figuring out ways like, how the hell do I get to people to learn how to train dogs instead of just reading books and doing people online stuff. So I saw the NAPO stuff, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is awesome. Like, this is...
How did you find NAPO? Do you remember?
It was Larry Crone, and then he kept saying this guy's name, Bart Bellin. And I was like, who is this guy? So I typed it in wrong, of course, into Google. And I typed in a Bellone instead of what it actually is, because exactly, baloney or something like that. But
Bart Baloney,
yeah. So I just saw a bunch of videos, and then I just went down the wormhole, and then I got hooked up with. I started listening to Pat Stewart, Glenn Cook, Canine Paradigm, you know, and then it just really skyrocketed from there. I did a couple Skype lessons with Pat, and then I just pulled the trigger, went to silver school, and then dog dad. I love it.
Yeah, cool, man. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. If I could do it again, I wish like that's what I would do if I started out again, right? And it's so even as a professional, and even as somebody that has worked with dogs, hands-on dogs for, I mean, most of my life, silver school was such an eye-opener for me, because it presented terminology in a way that I could explain this that wasn't like feely good, or like I didn't know how to explain it, because I mean I knew how to explain it based on just working with the dog and using the dog to illustrate it, but I didn't know how to explain the fundamentals behind it, right?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And because I went there and I didn't own a business yet. I wasn't there trying to desperately get answers as to how am I going to train my clients' dogs and things like. So I felt like I was very freed up, and that I could just like I never had a specific background in anything other than like the bad dog training that I was taught when I was at that daycare. So I went into there, and having Napo Po was like my real first experience, and then meeting all the people that were associated and around that was like, I mean, I couldn't have asked. Looking back on it, I could not have asked for a better
Mm.
like entry into the dog world. It was looking back on it, was just phenomenal, and I'm still living it still. So
Well, and I think that it's important for people to realize that if you're getting into this industry, like we get into it because we have love in our heart. We love these dogs,
mhm,
but we find fundamentally like erroneous philosophies that do not hold weight through situations that our clients have hired us to help them with.
mhm,
Right. And what the good thing about Silver School, especially with positive reinforcement and positive only training, is what I'm referring to.
mhm,
If that's what I started out doing. Like
mhm,
that's the path that I wanted to go when I started my own business. Like I was like, there's a way that we can do this without using aversives, without right corrections or any of this stuff. And
mhm,
I kind of laugh at myself because I mean, you have to be observant, right? And you actually were in this crazy 200 dog a day. I call those doggy daycares kind of like loony bins sometimes because they're like how there's like one person per like 10 dogs or 12 dogs sometimes
20.
or
One
20
person per
dogs.
20 dogs.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it would be 4 play groups, and there was the teenies, which were the small little dogs. They say that they discriminated by play style, but they really didn't. It was the teeny tiny little dogs, and then it was the slightly larger, like lab-sized dogs that were younger, were all in a group, and
Okay.
then the older ones that were that size were in another group, and then it was big ass dogs, or just the dogs that were so shitty in the other groups and just didn't play well with the other dogs that they made it into that group. So you have all. I mean, it was just yeah. That's where I learned how to stop break up dog fights, and but it's also where I learned dog behavior
Yeah,
without
how to
really.
recognize it when this
Yeah.
fight's going to happen, who to watch out for,
Hmm.
who to go after if we do have a fight, who's pretty
Yep.
much the culprit every freaking time,
Yep. And
right?
won't get kicked out because the owners know the owners of the place, or they're friends with the managers or something like that. It's just, there are many well run boarding facilities and daycares, I'm sure, but I've just, and I know that there are, but the interactive ones, to me, the ones that I've seen, because there are several in the area, just stay as far away as possible if you want your dog to be safe, at least safe.
Well, you're putting them into a volatile situation, period,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? And the way that a dog's mind is structured, like they want attachment and they want to know and they want routine and they want to know exactly what to expect, right? And they
Hmm.
want the right answer and they want to know the right answer and then they want to be, positively reinforced. I get that, but it's also they want to belong, right? They belong to a social unit. And whenever that social unit like takes and discards them and puts them in a place that is where they have to basically fend for themselves,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think that it builds some distrust issues, right?
yeah. I mean, they go from Maslow 5 all the way down to Maslow 1 when they go to the daycare. And from self actualized to I get everything I want, when I want, whenever I want, and however I want,
Mm.
to, oh shit, I don't know anybody here. And they just threw me into a group with 35 dogs and it's 90 degrees out. What happens now? So
Just a
there's, yeah.
manic craziness, and then they're throwing the ball for them or something, and
Well, we
um,
did away with that because there were too many fights. So I guess you
right.
could say that was a positive. There were no toys allowed or food allowed in group. So
Well, dogs fight with each other. Number one, food. Number two, toys. Number three, affection.
over
Right.
the handler, yeah.
That's right. So if we can mitigate those three incidences, and we can put a pretty big, dent in the occurrences of dogs attacking each other. Especially, that's one thing that I tell my clients, and also whenever dogs bite the person, one is food, two is toys,
Right.
and 3 is sleeping, right? And so we let
It's
sleeping
true.
dogs lie, and no surprises and stuff like that. But if we can be hyper vigilant during those times and educate people, like and basically at your facility you actually took it away, which makes sense. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of times whenever I've done a consulting gig for these daycares, that's one of the things that I recommend is we need to take these toys away. We need to have moments of calm, and especially when people are dropping dogs off, when people are picking dogs up.
You're just flooding the memory bank here.
That's right.
You're just flooding it.
That's when
Yeah.
dogs will get nailed, man. They want to go home. They're frustrated being there. Everybody's going out into this bottleneck, right? And so
Yep.
we got a way of diffusing that bottleneck. We need to open up that space where dogs aren't congregating in one area. We need a way to select
Mm-hmm.
one dog, be able to isolate them without getting all the other dogs aroused. And there's
Mm-hmm.
ways to do that. I can, I've done it. I haven't done it for a
Yep.
while, but I can do it and help people with daycare structures if you're interested, and contact me. But and also people with Evan, like Evan, that have knowledge through experience, man. It's been, or it's such a Stephen Christie Hill. Did you share this, Evan?
I did not share. I can go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, share it, because I want people that are in your audience and to see this too, and also ask questions that you have, because you just did one of your first NAPOPO seminars, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I did it at my friend Yana's place out in Akron, Ohio. It was a private kind of seminar for her trainers and people that work at a boarding facility out there. So it was canine guide dog training. It was her business. So I went out there to kind of spread the spread the ignition, spread the fire, the
Spread the
dopamine.
gasoline,
Uh-huh.
the
That's
cigarettes. Put
Yup.
cigarettes out in people's eyes. That's
Yep. Of course. Yeah, exactly, right? Mhm.
that's what.
Everybody's got their own way of saying, "Oh, I do this or I do that," or some sort of saying that came from the system. But yeah, absolutely. Putting
Well,
cigarettes out in dogs' eyes.
that's exactly what it's all about, man. No, the
Mhm.
eyes burn like in the
Mhm.
intensity, like cigarettes. The eyes are
Right.
burning like cigarettes.
Like cigarettes.
Bart just messaged me. He'll jump in when he has a chance, so
Cool.
he'll be here, and that's what I love about it, man. Is that he tells people to make this kind of your own system. And I think that
Yep.
he likes people like you and I who are more towards the artist realm, right, of creativity.
Sure.
I'm a glass artist. I paint. I'm going to teach myself the piano, and I might have to.
It's an uphill
I,
battle.
well, but do you know what I also read, man, is that when you're older and you're learning a lesson or learning an instrument, it's a little different, man. I used to play the cello, I used to play the trumpet, but
Yep.
we'd have to do the stuff that we were told to play. Where I don't have to do that, man. I can seek out the stuff that
Yep.
I want, right? And
Exactly.
and really get that reward of
Mhm.
hearing that and being able to play the music that I love and want to play, instead of being forced. And that's, I remember being just so bored with my cello. I was just done with it, with all these songs that I wasn't interested in.
Right.
And so there's a way that I think some of this correlates with sticking with dog training too, sticking with anything, right? A new skill.
Myelination, right?
That's right, myelination.
Myelination of those
And
neurons.
deep focus, man.
Yep.
Deep work, right?
Mhm.
And how do we get there? How do we get to this place that we can really, really focus deeply, and how do we structure the environment, and how do we make ourselves aware of when we're in the flow,
Mhm.
and when we can access, I think we access universal potential, man, like
Mhm.
of I mean, the knowledge base of just being present,
The flow
right?
state. Yeah.
The flow state,
Yep.
right?
That's what it
What
is when you're doing and you're not thinking, but you're doing. That's how I like to describe it. When you are in the flow state, when I'm practicing, when I'm playing, I've already practiced this thing a million times.
cello, you guys.
Cello, right? Now
Nelson's one to learn from, dude. If you have not learned from him, he'd make sure he's on your list.
he's on my list, but for obvious reasons, he's on my
Yes.
list. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to when people say muscle memory, it's myelin memory. And when they put that together in silver school for me, and it just kind of it lit that fire, because that's how I teach the kids that I teach. That's how I taught myself. But there has to be, like you said, when you grow older, it's kind of, you can go and play what you want, right? So that's a
Yes.
benefit. But the downside is that you're not going to myelinate as quickly as you do if you're 5 or 6 years old. So, but when it comes to the flow state, I've done it so long that I don't have to think about it. I can just play something and I can enjoy it and be present while I'm playing it, but also still be in that flow state of just kind of blocking everything else out and really just doing it, just going for it. And I think that's really at the crux of what you would want in, well, I'll just stay with the system that I know, in a Napopo trained dog, is that if you've seen that Bart and Thor video where they're on the field and it's like 8 straight minutes of just awesomeness, and not only is the dog in a flow state, but Bart's in a flow state too. So
Yeah.
when handler and dog can kind of come together like that in some sort of harmony, it's really just, it's an awesome thing to see. And I think that's what everybody tries to do with their dogs, whether it's obedience or something like that. My beagle, we just do cool shit together. And people ask me, what do you do with their dog? Is it scent? Is it this? We just do cool shit together.
That's what I think most of my clients want, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they think that it's awesome that I've taken all these classes and we can go anywhere they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that Bart said to me is like, look, man, now you can go 180 degrees the other way if your clients want to go that way with you, right? You can go, because there's a saying that in working dog world, the dogs are taught to go go go. In pet dog world, they're taught to stop stop stop.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Napopo system, it's more of the go go go. But
Fire.
how do we utilize that to make the dog want to stop and practice discernment, practice, right? And that's where I think that, and that's what attracted me to Bart.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I saw him was at the IACP conference, and he was strapping e-collars to dog trainers and then having $100 bill, man, and he'd set it down there, and whoever got this $100 bill, it was amazing.
The hope
And I
versus
was like,
struggle of getting that $100 bill, right?
yeah, but not only that, man, it's that knowledge through experience.
Yeah, it's unreplaceable or
It's
irreplaceable.
it's a totally different ball game. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
what we call gnosis, right? Is that knowledge through experience. And then before we do go any further, I have to, because you said it, we have to share the, here we go, a little bit of the,
Oh yeah, I was just showing everybody that I did the seminar with this the other day.
yeah, I played so many times on these live streams this exact video. You know, we're at 150,000 views. And
Mm-hmm.
what I want you to look at, I want you to look at that dog's tail. I want you to look at that dog's ears.
His
I want you to
eyes
look at,
whenever he can.
yeah, look at his eyes, but look at Bart's demeanor
Mm-hmm.
and look at how relaxed he is, you know, and just how they're just connected. And that's what I'm like, I got to learn from this dude.
Yeah, that's the perfect dog for him, and I think the next perfect dog for him is going to be a beagle.
Totally, dude. Let's make it happen, man.
Mm-hmm. He's had them before.
Yeah. And I actually contacted his beagle breeder in France
Mm.
and
That's on my
chatted
to-do
with him.
list. Yep.
Totally, dude. I'm there with you. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
right there with you. And I've talked to him because I wanted to do some discernment with bed bugs.
Okay. I interviewed for a place like that once. They didn't hire me. They didn't
Well,
hire
I'll
me.
make my
It was
own
like 5
business.
years ago.
Make my own business, and you know, and be able to, you know, have people stay at the hotel, seed it first, right, with
Yeah,
the
okay.
bug, then I'll come through and no, just have a racket. No,
Absolutely. Well, now you've
absolutely,
said
yeah.
it. Now you've said it, so they
So,
know.
well, now
Now
I have to do it, right? No,
okay, good. Yeah, you talk about going 180.
yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I love beagles, man. And did he ever tell you how they use the beagles
Who's they?
in France?
In France?
Yeah, his buddy with
Oh yeah, they go out with the hogs, right?
boar hunting.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And those dogs lose their damn mind,
They
dude.
lose. Yeah, they lose their shit. They're loud and they're obnoxious, and it's awesome. It's
Well,
just
you should see
awesome.
the videos they have on YouTube.
I've seen one of them where it's they all got the group correction because they, you know, they weren't They weren't doing what was supposed to be done. There's just that one beagle ruining it for everybody else. It was hilarious. There's always one. He just wouldn't let it go. He just
Yep.
wouldn't let it go. But that's what I love about them. They're really the perfect breed of dog if you think about it.
Do you know what I call them? The anti-authoritarian dog.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't heard that one before. That's good.
I call huskies the eccentric dog.
Mm-hmm. Putting it lightly.
Putting it lightly. Yeah, they're out there, man. Um, but yeah, the anti-authoritarian. And so, when did you get Scarlet?
I got her about 5 years ago. I got her from a rescue in the area that I won't say their name because they gave me a very sick dog without telling me they gave me a very sick dog.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, they told me she was on the mend. She had mange, but it's all good. I get the vet records after I get her and this and that. And no, she's got just a full blown case of mange. She's got, also, I'm not going to go in, but she got all sorts of issues, right? And
Autoimmune disorders and
I mean, yeah, the compromised immune system, she had yeast infections just all over her body. She had ear infections. She had a tick-borne illness. I mean, she tested positive, false positive for Lyme's, thankfully. But she was an absolute fucking mess. And she was out there in like 90 something degree heat and they were parading her around. And I was just like, all right, I think I love this dog. Not because she was sick and not because I wanted to bring her out of it. I saw her and I saw something in her, as maybe storybook as it sounds, but I saw something in her and I brought her home and then we went from there. And she's been the practice dog for every system that I've learned. But now she's my demo dog. She's my Napopo demo dog. And she's the best dog I could have ever asked for. I don't think I could find a dog from a breeder that would be as stable as her, like just with kids, with other people, and just has that fire. She has that fire that's been brought out in her. So,
she got determination,
she's
right?
awesome. She is awesome.
I'm
I
glad that
can't
you
say enough
got her,
about her.
dude. I'm glad that you got her, and I'm glad that she's doing much better than she was because I've seen some of these dogs. They look like freaking lizards, man. Their skin is so thick, and
They look like
from
hell,
being
yeah.
exposure and whatnot. But after a couple of years of love and like really taking care of their nutrition and getting
Yep.
them some solid good food, good exercise, getting them out of a stressful environment, getting them loved up, and then dude, that you can't even recognize them, man.
Right. Bring them up that Maslow scale,
That
just
Maslow scale. You
from a
know what? I
one
was
to a
talking to
three
Pat
or four.
Stewart about that Maslow, and he was like, "Bro," and then we forgot to talk about this when I had him on here, but he was telling me how it's like it's different. Like he read this article or something that we've learned about it like different. And I've ever since
Oh,
then I've been
great.
wanting to chat with him. So
Well,
might
I'll
need to put
I'll
a
be
pin in that.
listening, yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
listening.
Well, and we'll see. Like we were on that Clubhouse app, and it was actually a really really wonderful time because we had a way to bridge gaps between camps in the dog industry.
Mhm.
As a new dog trainer, have you realized that there's some camps, there's some modalities, there's some pretty rigid mindsets? Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, absolutely. I would be there's a lot of them. Yeah, that's a loaded question, so I'll just say yes.
And what do you? I mean, what do you think about it? I mean, well, first off, you're a trombone player, right? And what else? Like, you got into the behavior aspect of this. Were you ever into like psychology or anything like that? Or
I wasn't when I was in college. I wasn't really heavy on psychology. I was heavy on music, and not even I guess you could say not even the music, but I was heavy on being the best that I could be. And I'm glad that when I was in college, I wasn't exposed to the world, or the world wasn't exposed to me because I wasn't the best version of myself in college for sure. I mean, I was an asshole. I just had this ego about me, and you
really?
just didn't. Yeah, I mean, at least with the people that I was playing music with, and it was just I don't know. It wasn't the greatest time to look back on. But what I learned was that I can have this unyielding approach to how I need to improve myself in one aspect of it, but totally ignore another aspect of how I should improve myself, which might be my social skills. But I think for me, I went there to learn how to play the horn. right? And I had a phenomenal teacher. Jim McFalls was a phenomenal teacher, and I mean, he would, figuratively, he would whoop my ass in lessons, just whoop my ass in lessons, and say, "Okay, that's good, do better. That's good, do better," because he
Stirring a
already,
little shit.
yeah, because he already knew I had that ignition, so he can dump a little bit more struggle in there, and I'll overcome it, and I'll overcome it, and I'll overcome it, and there's never a time where there was too much. So putting those pieces together when I got out, really, it really just came full circle for me. But when it comes to this extremist stuff, it's kind of like when you're in college and maybe the classical
Mm.
people look down on the, or maybe just college in general, but
Right, liberal
yeah,
people, like
yeah, yeah,
like in the state of college. Like I was just like,
right.
that's all you need to say.
Right, yeah, but in the classical realm, looking down on something that's not classical music, like jazz music,
Mm,
as long as at least that's what they say, going so far as to call it a non-legit style of music. If you get a gig playing non-legit music versus maybe a church gig playing legit music. So
interesting.
I've been dealing with those extremist kind of views ever,
And they're
since
everywhere, man.
then. Yep.
They're in every subset of every industry, of every passion, and
Hmm.
I think it's just nature for human beings to kind of.
It's tribalism.
Yeah, it is. It is a
It's
tribalism aspect
tribalism.
of human, that which is human,
Yeah,
right?
and I don't
But
play that shit.
but I eat that stuff up, dude. Like the coaching and the like putting in check and being like, hey, do better,
Yeah.
right? I'm just like, oh, I
Hmm.
will do better, you know.
Exactly. Say it again. Tell me
Yes,
again.
yeah, tell me.
Tell me again.
Well, and same thing. That's why Bart, man, when he comes up, first time Bart met me, he's like, "Your beard, it looks like shit. You need to shave." And he throws it
Right.
away, and I'm just like, "Oh, I need to
Mhm.
learn from this guy." And then, but it's also like you said, like I'm sure the mentor of yours, um, could he play the instrument?
Oh, I mean, he played his ass off. Yeah. I mean, without a doubt. And if anybody had ever said that he couldn't, there might be a fight.
Well, he might just pull it out or whatever. I mean, he might just let it
Yeah.
let
Hmm.
the talent speak for itself, right?
I
And
went in
that's
there.
something.
Yeah, I went in there one day and in my private lesson. I said, Jim, I think there's something I can do in the horn that you can't do, because I taught myself something. It's something called circular breathing, where you can breathe in and out at the same time, so you can continue to play without stopping. And I thought I was hot shit. I went in there and I told him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's called being a professional. It's called being a professional trombonist. Do you want flowers?" Like, So, and I was like, "Fuck." So, like I said, that ego, right? But I think I had to go through having that ego, and then coming down to nothing as just learning as a dog trainer who knew nothing, and then learning from there. And like I said, putting myself with all these people was the best thing for me, because they're with Bart and Michael, both of them, there's no ego. Be the architect of your own system. If you like stuff from this system, cool, add it into what you do and then make it yours. There is no, this is mine, and you have to say it's mine, and there's no none of that. So that's ultimately why I drank the Kool-Aid.
And how did Scarlett do at Gold?
So Scarlet was the first goal that I did was in, I think, May of, or no, October of that year of 2020, and she was a fraidy cat. She was afraid of everything. We tried to do the scent stuff, and she wouldn't even get up on the platform. The scent wheel would spin, and she was like, "Fuck this!" The back tie specifically. She hated the flex pole, all that. She just wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. So, but he saw something in her. He was like, "No, no, no. She'll come along. She'll come along." So then I repeated. I went to another gold school in May of next year, and she was on fire. She was she was a different dog completely. She was a different dog, and it took a long time, but it took doing that silver and that gold school to really nail it home that, hey, this dog that you got is special. Maybe because she's a beagle, nobody else sees it, but she's fucking special. So, and she proved herself. She's a special dog.
Well, I think that you get eyes for that. The more dogs that you work with, and the more and you kind of had a little trial by fire with a bunch of dogs, and a lot of times, man, people that's what people are lacking. right? They get into this stuff, but they get into it from a theory basis where they're reading books and they're doing this stuff, like you were saying. Like, it was finally good to get into a place where I could actually do some hands-on practice of this theory instead of just like contemplate the theory, right?
Right. And going, having never really witnessed biting dogs, to going to Gold School and seeing the absolute demons that were there. Those dogs, some of them were just absolute monsters, and I'm just sitting on the side, being like, with my beagle, being like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, just like, holy shit, these are like real dogs.
Do you know who I took through Napopo, right?
Who?
Pecan, come here. Pecan. Oh, dude, she's out. Come here. She's like so zonked out. Come here, Pecan. Oh, whatever. But that little skipper key.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
And I took her through there, and Jake is a cop from South Dakota, and he's got this badass Malinois, and everybody's got these Malinois and
Right.
shepherds and pit bulls and Rottweilers and beautiful dogs, but
Absolutely.
not just the dogs, but they're pulling up in the Sprinter vans equipped with every amenity. And then we have some guys that are actually federal agents that were there that actually had these trucks with everything in it too, that from the government. And
I just pull up and I'm like, am I in the right place? Like, I pull up in my Ford Fusion. I only have a crate in the car. It's just full of dog fur. And I walk in and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm here to fuck shit up. You know,
I don't even have a crate in the car.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I had to go borrow a crate. So
you had to borrow a crate
until I got back to the hotel room. Well, until I got back to the Airbnb, and then I just had to bring that crate from my room all the way to the car, and then every single day. And then now, you know, I've got a gunner in the car. I've got I got the bougiest beagle in the world nowadays. You know, we got the Martin system collars, you know, which is a game changer, 100%. But yeah, I was there with my beagle to fuck shit up, and I did, and I'm happy about it. Well, she did, not me. She did.
Dude, I think that Bart likes people like you and I, like I was saying, like artists or people that are kind of minds, like I just kind of figure shit out, dude. And I like it when I figure shit out. And I like it when I get a good grip on something. But I'm used to teaching myself. I'm used to thoroughly knowing it by myself, right? And the hours of practice that you have to do with that horn, the hours of like that you can't fake, dude. Like, you can't go around it, you can't go under it, you can't go over it and just be like, I arrived. Like, you have to go through all this stuff. And I think that it's a mental toughness. And he was talking to me about this. Like, sometimes there's people that like they want to be handed the whole package,
the keys to the kingdom.
That's right. Where that's not the way that this works. And the people like you and I who kind of take it and run with it and you know, just kind of make it their own thing. Like, I think that is the future, and I think that that's what he enjoys. I hope it is, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to do cool shit with my dog, and when it comes to the creative aspect of it, I think Napopo is the perfect system for me, especially when you talk about new Napopo versus old Napopo. The shaping is the shaping, the box, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's my shit. That kind of just dumping fuel in that fire and seeing what this dog's about. I'll put control work on him later, you know. We'll put control work on later, but show me what the fuck you have. You know, I want to see it, and then we're gonna add more. And then we're going to add more until you're right where we need you to be. And then, hey, can you sit for me? Hey, can you lay down for me? Is there something in it for you? Dog's like, oh, I know, I want to do this. So it's the shaping to me is the fun part.
Dude, guess who just shared this? I got to show you this real quick, man. So Bart just shared this. So Bart, and you guys share this if you don't mind. Bart Bellin just shared it, one of our mentors that we're talking about. But I want you to see what he said here too, when he shared it. So here's Bart's page, and there's a Belgian ring, and here we are. And look at what he says. Go Scarlet, go.
Go Scarlet, go.
I love it, man.
Damn right. My heart melted the other day because I posted about doing that seminar, and he said, Scarlet, perfect demo dog. And I was just like, oh, it's the best thing ever.
Well, and I think that I mean, beagles would make a good demo dog, man,
Right?
and I used to have all these cattle dogs as my demo dogs, and do they get stressed out because they're used to controlling a situation,
Mm.
and then we take this dog back home, and then we bring a dog that's chaotic again, and then we take this dog back, and then so it's always this, like, never-ending supply of a need to control, and that's just not. I mean, they do that, but not to that degree. I mean, they bring about control, and then it's long periods of nice and calm, punctuated by moments of sheer chaos, right? But I think that beagles,
They're here
bec
for you.
and they're determined,
Yeah.
and, the only thing about a beagle is because they're anti-authoritarian, and they get caught on a scent or something like that, that's something, but it's also we can bring control later, just like you said.
Yep. Yeah, I don't care because the tenacity that she might have for a scent is the same level of tenacity that I can use to I can correct and get that same level of tenacity into what I want. So why would I say no to her?
And especially at the beginning, and this is where I wanna kinda switch the lens of the pet owner with pets, and
Hmm.
especially at the beginning when these dogs and I tell them, "Your dog's not being d bad. Your
No,
dog's being a dog, man, and your dog is just this is how dogs communicate, and this is what dogs do. It's just that we don't it doesn't really correlate with how we communicate. Like, I'm not sniffing your butt. Like, it's not
mm,
like, that's just what dogs do.
unless you're into that shit.
I'm
Then
not, dude. I'm good, man. But if you're into it, more power to you. But
you never know. It's 2022, man.
it is
You never know
2022.
what people are into.
You never know. But that's just being like when we look at dogs and how they interact in the world. There's a lot of things that are different about us and dogs, right? And
We find our advantage differently than a dog finds their advantage, but it's still we still want to find our advantage at the end of the day. So I think a lot of it stems from these pet owners don't want their dogs to to take advantage of them. I think they take it personally as part of it, but and she's met Scarlett, so she knows the kind of dog that she is. But I think they don't want to be taking advantage of their dog, and then when they feel like they have it, they take it personally. But also, it's just I would say, well, hey, it's just your dog finding their advantage. It's just the dog finding what they. How can I do this? What do I want? I already know it. I'm a dog. I know what I want, and how do I get that? And here's how I do it. So it's kind of it's communication, and a big thing is clarity. Clarity in behavior, clarity in reward, clarity in context. It's just clarity.
well, clarity, but also the biggest thing that I took away, dude, was toughness. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
toughening, and just like we're talking
Mhm,
about, like the toughening aspect of like going through these hours and hours. I mean, what do they call it? The 10,000 hour rule, right?
mhm.
Of
Which is
like the
bullshit, by the way, because
totally
there are
bullshit. I know.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, total bullshit.
There are
But
plenty of people who get to that 10,000 hours that could really benefit for another 10,000 hours
and there's
fully.
people that have done like they do 10,000 hours in college. Like just like they're so passionate about something like this is nothing for them, right?
4
And I've
hours
worked
a
with
day I
dogs.
was practicing.
Yeah.
4
And
hours a
it's
day.
yeah, do the math, man. I
Mhm,
mean, 4 hours a day, three I mean, four times 300 is what, 1,200 hours, right?
mhm,
And 8 years, that's 10,000 hours. So you should be, just but
mhm. But you
it's
what you were gonna say, yeah, go ahead.
is the toughening aspect of sticking through it, man. And especially
Yeah,
when things not only when things go wrong, but things are going to go wrong. And I
mhm.
blow glass, right? And I often message or I often refer back to this old master that I learned from in Murano. And what he said was like, it's not what you can create out of glass, but what happens when shit goes wrong.
Yeah,
Cause it's gonna go wrong, man.
yeah,
You
exactly. Look,
know?
I do woodworking in my spare
Okay.
time. It's very middle-aged white man of me to do, but I do it. And it's if I fuck something up, it's okay, how do I fix it? I sit here with a broken piece of wood, you
Yeah.
know? So, if I
And
fuck a
it's
training session up with if I fuck a training session up with my dog, how do I fix it next time? How do I put my dog in a position to win next time and to feel that she fought for it like a Spartan race? That's how I
yeah.
want to feel. Like I say, like, well, I can't say it, but I'll say it. I'll say like, "Are you ready?" And if I say it in a certain way, it's like, "Are you fucking ready, Evan?" Because
You just ignited,
yup,
the gasoline, man. You started the fuse, dude. You got
absolutely.
You've got to watch out for the consequences of that explosion,
Yeah, but it starts with properly setting up training sessions. And if you mess up, that's fine. You can get frustrated, but you need to keep at it. And the biggest thing that I see with people that get frustrated a lot is that they maybe know one way to do it and they did it that way and it didn't work, so it's the dog's fault, or it's something to that aspect of it. So people tell me all the time, man, you must be the most patient person in the world working with dogs and kids. I'm like, no, I just know if this method doesn't work, we'll do another method. And if this method doesn't work, we'll do another method. If I get to the end of my 12 methods and my kid or my dog and the kid is still not doing it, they're like, fuck, now I'm frustrated.
Dude, we've done every method I know, and you still don't know this shit.
Right. Because then there's something I'm doing wrong.
Right. Totally.
Yep.
But it's also that approach, man, and it's a methodology and a sticking with it, and that is a toughening aspect.
Yep.
Right. That is tough because it's like there's going to be points that you're not going to want to do this, but you have to carry on. You keep your eye on the big prize.
You'll get to Valhalla.
You get to Valhalla. Same thing with our dog. Keep our eye on the big prize, which is our dog just being cool and calm, right? Calm and confident dogs. We have a question here. I'm not familiar with NAPOPO. Being that you're both graduate certified, are you now able to teach seminars? Yes. Do people go to the school so they can be certified to teach the method to others? I'm sure they do. I am sure they do, but
they go to school.
Yeah, you have to go to the school, and you have to go through it. There's no going around or anything, and there's a way that you can check. I think that they have a list of certified, trainers at NAPOPO, and they're going to be starting to do NAPOPO Gold with students as well. So, and I'm looking forward to that. And everybody, I mean, that's the other aspect of this is like we all have different ways of presenting this methodology. Right. And things that we have gleaned from it too.
Yeah. We all have our own backgrounds. And before I go into that, seminars, people who run seminars like me and you, we cannot certify in NAPOPO. So you have to go to the school to be certified. So, but above that, what I was saying previously, but my ADHD made me forget. So something about something I was talking about, but
got it.
Oh, hey, shit. There it is. It's the background. It's the background of it. It's all different. Everybody has a different background. I have a different background than a police officer does, and a police officer has a different background than you might have. So you bring with you
as a cannabis connoisseur. Hold on. My dog's barking at something. Sorry. You're absolutely right, though.
Yeah. So you bring your background to it, and then it's great to have somebody who's kind of at the head of all of it, as Bart is, say, hey, that's cool. Just bring that to this. So you have the go-ahead from somebody who's proven in the business instead of an ego that says, no, it's only done one fucking way, and this is the fucking way we're going to do it. So
yeah. And I don't like you, and I don't want you teaching my shit.
Bart's gonna hate this. We're blowing so much smoke up his ass. He's gonna hate it.
Dude. And Michael too, man, because she definitely had
enormous hand in it.
Totally, especially with getting a spam. Should I answer the spam risk?
Absolutely, you should.
No, I don't. I shouldn't ask you.
Oh man,
dude, we shouldn't get together, Evan. I already know that you and I in the real world probably is not a good idea, man, because but do you know what?
Down whatever.
Well, and we in Baltimore too is nuts. Like I've been to Baltimore, and
for better or worse, it's nuts.
It is nuts, man.
They have bumper stickers here that say, "Believe it or not, I actually like being here." I saw one the other day. It said, "Believe it or not, I like Baltimore." That's
the new city slogan, dude.
Yeah. Well, the old one was the greatest city on earth, or the best city in the world, or something like that. It was one of those, and I won't go into it, but you just see the not so greatest city in the world stuff that's happening on that bench, or it's just like a decrepit, broken down bench that's been to the into Baltimore City. But yeah, I mean it's quirky and there's a lot of shit that's wrong with it, but I can't say that it's the worst place to grow up.
No, I mean, and there's good parts of everywhere, man.
Of course,
and it's kind of rough last few years in the world. I mean, here in Seattle, there's all these homeless camps everywhere, and it's the worst I've ever seen it. And it's crazy time in the world today, but it's also we can look around, walk around looking for things to be offended, or we can get out there and make a change and do what we want, and listen
Deal with
to
the
our heart.
struggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to your heart, deal with the struggle, and be better for it.
Toughening, dude.
Yep.
It's all a toughening aspect, but it's also like just driving down the road, man, is a toughening, especially if I don't have a crate for my dog in the car. Just like, dude, I came down with like impact crates. I brought my own slap mill, dude. Just so you know, like a little dog slap mill.
You drove 36 hours with a slap mill?
Dude, it was so bad. I was talking to Evan earlier, and I just missed him. He went to the Silver School right before me, and then there was like right when they were shutting down everything for the pandemic,
Yep.
and they actually canceled my flight, and I just went and rented an SUV. I rented one of those big Tahoes that I wanted to be able to sleep in it. And I drove 34 hours from Seattle to Seymour, Missouri. And I was late to the first week of Napopo Gold, so I missed the half of the first day, but I audited that first week, and then I went to the second week, and then it just sucked driving back home. And I had the impact crates too, which are those metal crates, and the collapsible ones, and they're not too bad. Like, people say that they make a lot of noise. I didn't notice it too much, but maybe it's because I had that freaking thing so crammed full of shit that it was like one of those rolls. When I opened the door, it popped, like everything just popped. No, just kidding. But it's and then yeah, I learned a lot, man. But we missed each other, and I'm so happy I went, because it's just was that opportunity. I accomplished so much during the pandemic. Isn't that crazy? Like, I'm traveling everywhere, because there was so many good travel deals. There was nobody traveling. I remember I was the only, like, 2 or 3 people on the plane, and driving around. There was nobody out in traffic, right?
Right. Yeah, going all the way to there. And I think Bart and Michael got on like one of the last flights that were leaving internationally before they
Closed it all down, man.
Yeah, they posted on Facebook a pic finally that like the night before I'm leaving. Or the night before that I leave, they posted the picture on Facebook of them on the plane, and I was like, okay, good, I can leave tomorrow. I know they're going to be there. So, and then no cops all the way down, and they were just telling people don't pull people. They were telling them don't pull anybody over. It was craziness. I'm happy to be out of it, but I'm happy that I went.
Yeah, it's been just I can't even. And what about pandemic puppies where you're at?
Yeah. Just
yes.
Just yes.
Yeah. Big problem here too, man.
Everywhere.
So what are you? So you're training dogs now. Scarlet, Canine. And so what are you doing? Just private lessons? Are you doing group classes? Are you
just started doing
board and trains, or what does that look like?
Started doing in-homes, private sessions, that kind of thing. I built my kennel last summer, a little over a year ago. I built that to start to do board and trains. So I added board and trains onto it. And I'm just constantly expanding. And also the programs that I have, board train in-home, they're not necessarily always changing, but with the more that I learn, I can add more into them, and I can offer a wider range of solutions to problems instead of just, do your dog jumps at the door? Well, we're going to put them in place, and instead of just doing that.
It's a catch-all. I mean, it turns into a catch-all. I mean, it's a good tool, and
absolutely is.
I recommend it, but that just seems to, well, place your dog. It's like, no, dude, my dog needs to learn to discern and know that this is not okay after a while.
Yeah.
Like we've just replaced this ritualistic greeting with another ritual.
Right.
That I'm involved in. You know what I'm saying?
And then absent of the cot, the behavior's still there.
Yeah, the cot is the tool. The cot is the crutch. The cot is the crutch.
Yeah, and then punish whenever you don't have the cot and the dog does it. And it's, I don't know. It's just very, like, it works. Of course it works, right? But there's always more than one way to skin a cat. There's always more than one way to do something, generally.
So I'm always recommending Tony Anchetta. Do you know about Tony Anchetta? Oh, man, you got to check him out. That's one of my recommendations for you as a new professional. He does the Keeler KMODT. Actually, Teresa just enrolled in the next course. He's actually starting a course. I just talked to him. And I haven't talked to him for this whole pandemic or anything, so I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. And we must have talked for about 2 hours and I've taken his course a few times. And Teresa's going to be taking the next one, but I definitely recommend. I mean, it's still you still need time to process and integrate what you've learned, right? And so if you feel like you haven't done that with Napopo, but if you want to get a better understanding of old Napopo
Right.
too, that's Tony.
Mm-hmm.
They just call it a totally different thing, right? But it's
Right.
it's something that I definitely recommend. I think it's a piece of the puzzle that all new trainers should check out. He does what's called a ISTA, ISTA KMODT, Keeler Method of Dog Training course, and it's all online. It's a 3-month course, and I think it's like, I'm not sure how much it is, but check them out. And Teresa might let me know. I think it's like $400 or something like that. It's very affordable. You're going to have a green dog that you want to take through the course. So to keep that in mind. So a lot of times they'll have people do a client dog, and the clients will pay for the course for their dog as well. Then you could bring a new green dog through that course. But you need one dog to bring through the course so you can map the achievements and also the other thing I like about that one too, Evan, is that one is super formal. I know that we want to do stuff that's cool with our dogs, but it's so cool to be able to be like, you know what, you do have a purebred. Why don't we just go get them obedience ribbon, right? And adhere to some standards that might take a little polishing up, and that's what the Keeler will teach you as well.
Right.
So the standard obedience, AKC novice obedience, and you can do the advanced, expert, open, all these different classes that are recognized by AKC to this day as well.
Interesting. Yeah, it's on my list. I'll have to give Teresa about it.
Yeah, get with Teresa. Definitely. She's awesome, and she's one of my favorite people. And speaking of Teresa, we're going to be doing. So I want to do a couple things, man. I want to do one where we actually make a fund for like an emergency fund, or announce some of these emergencies, because I've had a couple show up here recently where a dog has gotten ran over by a car, had to go and get emergency surgery with her pelvis, and she's doing okay. Itty Bitty is her name. And we started a GoFundMe. Everything's paid for, but it was like $7,500. Yeah. Which she's absolutely worth it. But if we can help ease the burden, her mom and dad are just getting married this month, and it's just something that they didn't need. And
yeah, really.
So we started a GoFundMe. I'll put it in the comments if anybody's interested. Shit, dude, I'm gonna do that right now because I'll forget. So hold on. Please hold. ADD taking over. Okay, yeah, here it is. So I'm going to put it in the comments, and we are at, I think, we're almost at $800. So we're raising some money. You guys give what you can. And then also I do a Patreon where all right, so there's the GoFundMe for Itty Bitty, where we do subscribers. If you guys like what I do here, you can subscribe to the Patreon. I need to make a little commercial that I can just play because I hate this self-promotion crap.
Hey, but sometimes it's got to do it.
Just got to do it. But that's it. Bow Wow Bills on Patreon. Let me put this down in the comments below. And then we're going to be doing a Patreon drive too, to see if we can get some more Patreon members in there as well. So let's see if we can put this in the comments.
Are you selling your bathwater yet? Like some of these people in...
Dude, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
If anybody message me if they want some of it,
or like just tink. Yeah, exactly, right? Just a beard sweat, just bottle it, man.
Beard sweat.
You are sitting on a gold mine.
Literally.
I can't grow a beard. My beard, it grows so patchy. It's never ever gonna get to that level.
James Matriana in Australia, dude, he came back with a massive beard, and do you know what he did? Rogaine, bro. I guess it works, man. So give it a shot.
So Rogaine at 28. I guess.
But dude, I also am going to be doing like a beards of love for guys like you that can't, like locks of love for the cancer patients. Except for like this will be for you, like whenever you want to feel really manly.
Oh, so you mean like all the time? I'm 6 foot tall and I weigh like 135 pounds on a good day. So
this is whiskey in my dog dad cup.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Straight moonshine.
I was just wearing a fucking Snoopy shirt earlier today,
Everclear.
so
Dude, I got a weird question for you. Do
the
you see
weirder the
color?
better.
Do you see colors when you hear music?
No, but I had a friend that I went to school with who did, called synesthesia is what it's called.
Yep.
His name is David, but
Dude, so
yeah,
I ask everybody that. David
yeah,
does?
David does. He sees color. Well, he hears colors essentially.
Isn't it wild?
He can describe songs in like, oh, that was like, oh, that was a high red. That note. I was like, what are you talking about, David? What a high red? What are you talking about? He was like, oh shit, sorry, I hear colors. I was like, oh, okay, that's great to know.
Do you know
But
about there's this guy named Oliver Sacks,
yeah,
and he wrote a book called Musicophilia.
yep,
Oliver just died, I think, in 2017, 2018, I think.
not long
So,
ago.
yeah.
Mhm.
And there's some pretty cool, like, so that's what he talks about, the synesthesia. And what they find is that, like, there's an audio wiring with the visual or something. Like, there's some weird,
Yep,
like, entanglement.
some
And
crossing of wires. Yeah.
I've asked so many people, dude. I've asked Egyptian Lover. You know Egyptian Lover by chance?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, you gotta check out Egyptian Lover. I'd play it, but we'd probably get copyright or whatever. But he does like
Struck.
just like breakdance and stuff, you know, and old
Okay.
school synthesizers and stuff. And I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, absolutely, man." And he knows it like goes up the side like a equalizer, right? Or yeah, equalizer. And then he knows that if it comes down and rains on his head, like he's got a hit. And I was like,
Interesting.
no shit. And then Prince was talking about purple Purple Rain,
Mm-hmm.
right? And same with Jimmy Hendrix with Purple Haze.
Right.
We're both referring to a synesthesia. Um, who else? DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill. I chatted with him, and the crazy thing is that he sees in like a gray wash.
Interesting.
Everything's gray. Like he does see the colors, but it's grayish, and you can actually see it reflected in some. Like he's got like a darker, like drab kind of slower tones, like and lower melodies,
Right.
right? And
Melodies, yeah.
but yeah, crazy stuff, man. And then what's something else? So I'm gonna put up a post here for Musicophilia, so you guys
And
can.
then you got to think, do dogs have those same kind of things?
You got to, dude.
Like dogs have headaches. Dogs get, they can have sinus issues. But can dogs hear colors with the colors that they can see? So you know, it's an interesting question, but we're probably 1,000 years from ever doing anything, being able to ever know that.
Well, and it's also like, whoops, what am I doing here?
I think I'm getting grainier by the second as it gets darker out.
Is it? Are you? It's okay.
Just the ass quality of my whatever you call it, the camera here.
The ass quality.
It's the best I could do, Bill. I'm just
Dude,
starting out, man.
it's all good, dude. This is what we expect. If you're not embarrassed by what you're putting out at the very beginning, then you've waited way too long, man. You need to be embarrassed. Get out there. Okay,
Yep.
let's see. Again, just coming outside, working with our inboarding yellow lab, confirming our calling to the craft. Great dog day, but missed first 50 minutes. Go back.
Yeah.
You're like virtual lounge for all us professors in dog craft. Yep. Dude, and I want to talk about that. Do you know what was that gentleman that you were mentioning? The kinologist mentioned this guy, Conrad Most. Conrad
Mhm.
Most. I need to find out this guy because that's what
I read the book. I read the book like 3 years ago, but
I never
I
heard of him.
it's gone at this point.
Conrad Most. What is the book called? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Conrad
It's
Most. Yeah.
literally on the other side of the wall that I could grab, but
Training Dogs, a Manual. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it here because it says last purchased in 2018. So I got it here somewhere, man. Maybe to get another one, but yeah, just here I'll see. Like,
How about Dr. Stephen Lindsay's books? The
no,
manual,
I want to
dog
know all of these.
training. I have it right here. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, do your thing. Here's this. So purchased September 19, 2018. So I gotta have this somewhere.
My laptop is
Unlock.
actually sitting on them.
Is it really?
It is, because the stupid shitty camera is on the bottom of my screen.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, this
Never
one.
heard of.
There's 3 of
I
them.
have that one. I have those. I have all 3 of them too. Those are a little spendy too, huh?
They are, and it's
They're like
super.
$100 a piece or something.
Yeah, it can be a dry read, but I mean, the stuff in there is, if you take notes, man, if you take notes, it's a very scientific read for sure. But
So
it's great.
the other one, biological boundaries. Oh, what is it? Let me grab it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Please
Sure.
hold.
I'll take over the show. Hopefully my charming personality is winning everybody over. Nice. That's nowhere in my house.
That one's a great. This one, if you want to talk about dry read, dude. But it's got so many cool.
Well, just like the talent code.
Yeah.
That's a dry read. Everybody says it too. It really is. Then there's another book called Behave.
Yes.
Have you got that one?
Yep. And then there's this one too. So this one's a hard one. Biological boundaries of learning.
Oh, nice.
Okay. The crazy thing about this one is this one talks about like taking approach and taking into account like a natural approach to observing animals versus looking at it what they call an acoustic chamber called the science lab. Right. And then we talk about classical and operant conditioning.
Right.
But I believe that this was one of Skinner's students that published against him. And I think that this is that exact publication here.
Wow.
And it's learning theorist. Basically says that we focused on instinctive behaviors of individual species in their natural habitat. And a lot of times people are preoccupied with his own subject matter, each traditional minimized in the significance of the other's findings. Even though the initial theoretical encounters between ethologists and comparative psychologists did not have the wide impact, the general process, learning theories, and then there's one view which virtually all researchers represented here hold on in common. When an organism learns in the laboratory or in its natural habitat is a result of not only contingencies which he faces and has faced in his past, but also the contingencies which his species faced before him. It's evolutionary history and genetic outcomes. And that stuff is not being considered a lot of times with, some of these purely positive or whatever. They're not, it's just not being considered of it's not taken into account the species and especially instinct for survival. Right. And so if I take a Skinner box and I put a whatever in there, somebody that's going to operantly interact with this box, that's one thing. But then I took a predator and I put it in the window of this box and watch that behavior go gone. Right. Because now we have an instinctual motive that is keeping that dog or whatever that species from acting, right? And so that's
like it. What was it, the study with the mice and the cat hair or the cat fur, I think it was. I can't remember the whole thing, but they, no matter, I'm not even going to do it justice, but I know that there was a study done with the mice and the cat hair, and the mice were just instinctively afraid of it, even if there was
because the predator. That's right. And dude, I get that because I've had moments, and I'm sure I've talked to Nelson about this, man, where the predator of that dog has come through to me and my hair on the back of my neck has stood up, man. And I'm just like, holy shit, dude, this dog is serious business. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Bill and Evan. Bill, it's Sharon Mills from Success Puppy Training. Hey, Sharon. How you doing? How you going? Sorry, that's Australian. It's been such a long time.
How dare you, Bill?
The dogs and me. Yeah, Sharon, good to see you. Welcome. Good to have you here. No one talks about a singular nucleotide polymorphisms anymore. I miss those days.
I don't think I was alive for those days, Nelson.
Oh my goodness. A guide dog for the blind have okay. Awesome. Yeah, and do you know what? I actually was working with a blind person last night, man, and he had such a good relationship with his dog, dude. And this guy hates having the harness on his dog. His dog gets too hot or whatever, so he keeps a collar on him, and they were awesome together.
Mm-hmm.
If
Cool.
you this guy George Cockrell, he's been training dogs longer than I've been alive, Evan. So he's one of the OGs that literally has been training dogs since before I was born in the 70s.
Well, you're
So
only 25, Bill. So
yeah, totally. I've lived a rough 25 years, dude.
I didn't say it was a good 25. I just said it was a 25.
Slammed around. Dude. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 45, man. That's crazy how time flies, man. Pretty soon you'll be there.
I'm
You know?
already flipping out because I'm 28. You know what I mean? I think I flip out. Like, I have the thought about my dog because she's 8. I have that thought every day. Like, what am I doing today that I'm going to remember when she's gone? Like, what am I going to do today with her that I'm going to remember when she's
You're
gone?
always going to remember her when she's gone, man. And the
I
thing
know.
is that we don't mourn our dogs before they leave. That's the other thing. Like, even if we've been given a terminal diagnosis, even if we know, right? And the reason is because if we try to mourn or try to practice that, it doesn't help,
Mm-hmm.
right? It never helps. And so why even waste that time? Spend the
Yeah.
time with them. They're here, dude. And that's what I tell my clients. They're right there,
Right.
right?
And
Love
that's
them
what I
up.
mean. And that's
You're
what I
going to
mean.
have plenty of time to miss them when they're gone. But yeah, you're going to live every day to the fullest while she's here.
Right.
And
Exactly. And
you know,
I know that I'm not ready for it. I know that I'm not
oh,
ready,
we never are, my
and I'm
brother.
not going to be ready for it because I've
You
only had
know,
2
I got
dogs.
leashes, tattoos older than you are.
Mm.
I just got tattooed, dude. I don't know if you're a big tattoo guy, but I just got tattooed
Oh,
myself.
really?
I did.
I don't
So
have any, no.
you're not going to see them on me, except for I do have my ring finger tattooed on me, but
Mm.
that's
That's
about
just
it.
for the Patreon people.
Yeah, that's for the Patreon people. Dude, I'm gonna have you just be my gonna come on every time now, man. You gotta. I'm sorry. So we will have many dogs in our lifetime that don't just live long as us. Yes. Well, and the other aspect of this, so, and this is where I'm going to get a little hippy dippy. I am a little hippy
Oh,
dippy.
say it ain't so, Bill.
I am a little hippy dippy. But
Say it
you
ain't
are in
so.
physical manifestation right now as Evan, but there's an energetic presence that you manifested from into this plane of existence. And that energetic presence is still present and will greet any dog that will come home to you. So there is a higher aspect of yourself that will greet your dogs as they return back home
Hmm.
and take solace in that fact, right? And know that you can reflect back on that. And I have a little a talk with all my dogs, and I let them know that when I return to the energetic form, that if they are interested, that I would like to merge with them to be part of energetic entanglement forever and ever.
I hope the fuck you're right.
Dude, I do too, man. That
I
would
hope
suck if
you
I
are right.
wasn't. I'd be like, like
I could,
no.
if I could just manifest my dog in front of me, that would be the best shit ever, you know? But I've only ever
God.
had 2 dogs. I had one beagle when I was a kid. Got her when I
Okay.
was like 12. She was a laboratory beagle. So she
Okay.
spent the first 6 months of her life in a lab.
Okay. I've
She'd,
worked with
she'd,
a bunch of those dogs
she'd
too.
never been outside till I got her at 6 months. Never been outside. It was from the crate, it's from the crate to the testing room, back to the crate to the testing room. So I had her 12 and a half years, cancer, then gone, and then less than a year later, I got this one. So in my adult life, I haven't really gone through anything like that. So I think this one's going to be just the worst shit in the world, And
It is
I'm
worse
having a
than that.
midlife crisis for her, but
I'm
I don't
here
want.
for you, bro. Like if when it happens, just know that you have a team of people that have been through this and know
Yeah,
how much it fucking sucks.
yeah, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's just the morbidity that I bring to Bow Wow Bill and these conversations.
Dude, I love it though. That's the thing, man, is that I welcome death and I welcome morbidity and I welcome these conversations because it's the other side of the coin, man. Like
Hmm.
go to your fridge and pick out something that's alive that's going to sustain your body.
Right?
Like death sustains life, right? And not only that, but it's something that like I've had discussions with people that are head of palliative care of that have sat down at deathbeds of thousands of people. I've sat at the deathbed of my own mother and father,
Mm.
and it's powerful, man. It's very powerful. But just to know that, look, man, it's a dance that we're all gonna do, and to know
Yep.
one aspect of death is now we can celebrate that life as a whole instead of looking at something that our conscious mind prefers of that
Hmm.
experience, right? Or
Right.
something that we didn't like, our conscious mind didn't like, right? And so we can celebrate that as a whole, that life is complete. And so I mean, I love it, dude. Don't worry about morbidity. I love it. I don't think that it's dark. I think that it's actually a very enlightening conversation that we can have, and
Hmm.
I look forward, um, almost to seeing what's on the other side of, as we get older. You're
Hmm.
28, which is a crazy age because you're developing your mylar sheath. You know that, right? There's
Oh yeah.
your monkey mind starts to settle down, and around 27 to 30, our axon of our neurons, the mylar sheath, kind of gets a little bit thicker, and it focuses
Hmm.
our thoughts a little bit deeper, and so we actually change, and we call it getting out of adolescence, out of the adolescent mind.
I hope so. Adolescence fucking sucks.
Well, it's a monkey mind. Your mind's bouncing
Hmm.
everywhere, but it's also
Yeah.
it's the formative years of what you bring, to the future, right? Many
And that
dollars.
male mind, like the male adolescent mind, like starting at 19, is like the worst version of a human being that there just possibly is. You
I'm
know.
so glad I didn't have Facebook. That's all.
I was just at the very beginning of that shit, so I didn't ruin anything for myself. You
I would have
know,
ruined everything, dude. I would have been one of those guys that
burned it to the ground.
would have got canceled, man. I remember like leaning out the car window, driving, like I'm driving too. So
Mhm.
if somebody's steering and somebody's actually, well, I'm trying to get this chick's number in front of us.
The dumb shit that we've done, man.
Yeah,
Dumb
and
shit.
but
Just
it's
glad I didn't have witnesses for a lot of it.
well, and know that it's part of,
It's part of the thing.
it's part of the thing of just becoming who we are, but also reflecting back on who we're not and who we don't want to be, and sometimes we have to experience that, from that perspective. But
Right. So, which is why I want my dog to do hooligan shit, as Bart would say. Let him be a hooligan, because those are some of your fondest memories, even though you were just an idiot back then. So
there we go. Lil graduated from her first dog training school in 1972. Well, I was brought to this earth in 1976. And then Mr. Youngin over here was 93. No, 93.
yep,
Dude, I'm good, huh?
93.
When's your
Good
birthday?
math. Yeah, September.
September 93.
Hmm.
Virgo. When's your
Evan.
birthday?
My
The
name's
7th.
Evan. I don't know any of that. Beagle. I'll say Beagle. I
There you
don't
go.
know. I
Yeah.
don't know, and I don't care.
Dude, that's what we should transfer our astrological signs into canine signs.
That's at the $10 tier of your Patreon. That's what you're gonna do.
Where have you been all my life, man? That's what I need to
And the
know.
$20 tier is that bathwater. I'm telling you, it's gonna sell.
Well, I don't know. I gotta ask my wife about that, man.
Hey
Dude, what
man,
if somebody like drank it? What if it was like somebody
bro,
that I
you
was
just sell it.
repulsed by? What if they did repulse
No,
me and they drank it and I couldn't?
you
I don't
sell it
care. I
and you
don't care.
forget
I'd
about it.
laugh. I would laugh actually
Yeah,
if I
because it's
saw them
$20
drinking
in
it.
your pocket.
Totally, dude. And then they have to drink because it's gone.
Right.
And so now
They need more.
they need more.
Exactly. And
So
if somebody's drinking your bathwater, they're always gonna fucking need more. So you've got the market corner, and you have the market cornered because it's your bathwater.
should I
You
do
know.
Epsom salt because I know that has to go right through? I don't know.
$30 tier level.
Dude, I've seen these TikToks of these chicks that have like
It's
$1.5 million or
Yeah, man, it's
$2 million
crazy.
every single month. So what is your OnlyFans?
My OnlyFans.
Is it fans
It's
only?
a
What is it called? Only.
it's a closely guarded government secret. Only Scarlett knows what my password is. All right.
Have you seen The Most Hated Man on the Internet?
No.
Okay, you got to go watch that.
What's
So
his
yeah,
name?
Hunter Moore.
I've heard about it. Okay, I've heard about it. I've heard people talking about it.
Yeah, this guy
but
Hunter Moore is a piece
I'll
of
go and look
shit,
at it.
dude. He's a real piece of shit. He was uploading people's naked pictures, revenge porn. It's called
Jesus.
"Is Anyone Up?" is the name of the website that was up, and
God
then
damn.
but then he had some dude hacking these people's emails and pulling out their sites and posting up their naked pictures and just ruining people's lives, man.
That's shitty.
People are shitty, dude, and
Dogs are not.
dogs are not. And I don't know.
I'm trying to bring it back somehow, Bill. I'm trying.
Trying to bring back the dogs
I'm
to be
trying to
shitty.
bring back the dogs. We went to
Yeah, totally.
dying dogs to Bill
Oh, yeah.
Bathwater to the shittiest person in the world. I'm trying, man.
Oh, dude, let's see where else we can go. That's where I'd like to see.
Push it further, man.
Yeah, we got
More
dogs.
fire. More fire.
My dog. Here, come here. Yeah. Let me see that. Pick it up. Pick it up. Thank you. Speaking of dogs,
Nice.
dog crack, dude. Have you seen these things? Jolly
but
balls.
I have one. I have one with food.
Come here. Yeah. Oh, that one too. Yeah, that one's like got a bottom. Here's Sequoia.
Oh.
She's got her summer bod going where she's so beefcake, dude. She's so buff.
But you're in. You said you're in Seattle.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
Okay.
You said you're in Seattle or where?
Just north of Seattle, Washington. I got a ranch up here, about 5.5 acres in Arlington, Washington, about 50 miles north.
So you don't get summer.
Oh, dude, you should see. It's so nice outside right now.
What's the temperature?
Like 80 degrees.
That's not summer. That's not summer to me.
Totally not summer.
Look, man.
You're absolutely right, dude.
Look, man, for me, every year it's white boy summer. Look at me. I'm not built for the winter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm not built for Maryland winter. So I got to head south at some point. But so if we're ever going to link up, it's got to be in the summer. That's the only thing on my rider.
Okay, we're doing it in the summertime. Either that or we're going to southern hemisphere where it's summertime in the wintertime here.
Yeah, that's the fucking best. I'm down for it.
Dude, you want to see this? Look at this. Look at that.
Those are the cigarette eyes. Crack. Yeah, man.
Watch when I bring it close. She's 5. Yeah, speak.
I don't want to.
Speak. Speak. The other one's speaking. She wants it. This one down here's got cigarette eyes on me too. Pecan, come here. Pecan, come here. No, this one's upset.
Oh, it is a little skipper key.
Yep, that one's a little skipper key. But you notice number 1, number 2,
right.
number 2 incident that dogs are going to fight, right?
And that's what a skipper key sounds like, huh?
Yeah, that's what a skipper key sounds like. There they go. Now she's beefing with her, but that's what we get, you guys. So
that's what they tune in for, Bill.
What else? What else do you want to talk about, man? Woodworking. What do you like to make out of wood?
That's a loaded question. I mean, there's the safe answer, and then there's the not safe for work answer. But I'll go into the safe answer. I do a lot of cutting boards recently. Been doing a lot of cutting boards. I built the desk,
Dude,
actually.
I'm so intrigued, bro. Like, what is an unsafe answer?
Dude, unsafe answer? That's the $10 level in your Patreon.
Billy Clubs?
No, it's a $10 level of your Patreon.
Okay. If you guys want to find out what he makes that is not good out of wood, subscribe to my Patreon $10 level.
Extra $10 to get the bathwater, but yeah,
dude, I'm not doing bathwater for less than 3 figures.
3 figures, Bill. It's
$100.
Water.
$100. But bro, once it's in my bath, then it's like my last name's Church, right?
Yeah.
So I can't say it's been blessed. So it's been blessed because it's like,
exactly.
Gotta go again. Have fun, guys. Dude, our numbers are dwindling, man. All right, dude. So what's the future of Evanhold? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years. In 5 years. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna keep learning. Keep expanding my knowledge of dog training, and keep training Scarlet.
Pet dogs, or what do you want to? What is your
dogs,
niche?
I think the future for me is in scent detection.
Okay.
I think it's in that. I'm not built for bite work. Well, although it's interesting, I like it. I do enjoy it. I'm not built for it. I don't think it's for me. But scent detection's in my future for sure. I
Dude,
think in 5 years I want to be, I want to be doing scent detection with my 13-year-old dog.
I want to do that stuff too, dude. So I'm right there with you. And then I want to show you this thing here. So, do you know about? Let me see. So we have Debbie K. Let me find another one. Nolan has one. You know about these scent wheels?
The
Scent wheels here. It's right here. Right here. Pat Nolan. That's where I recommend getting. That's where I'm gonna get mine from. So let me
that
show
kind of
you.
thing.
What? Let me see.
Oh god damn it, Bill.
Dude, I'm like, what are you doing? Kinda, but let me show you, man. So this one is more of what we call a scent carousel.
Oh shit, yeah, I seen Kashi using that.
Right. And this is no Pat's.
And by the way, I just want to say that Kashi, do you follow him?
I don't. I'll interview
Facebook?
him.
He is that man's out of his fucking mind. He's such a phenomenal dog trainer, and he's
Oh,
in
dude,
India. I think he is. But I'll
just introduce me if you don't mind.
yeah, absolutely. I just follow his stuff. I've never met him. I haven't talked to him, but that dude's just next level. I've seen his little Jack Russell working on this stuff.
Oh, it's so cool, man. And
Yeah.
then these salt shakers. But notice too, like you really have to be mindful, right? And we're looking at these different numbers here too. And so we can record.
It's easy to adjust the height of the cup from
adjusting the height and adjusting or recording what number the scent's on. But let me see. This was I don't know if this was that carousel that I was looking at. I know there's a few other ones, but they have these blinders in. Let me see on some of these as well. I hope there's no freaking like here's a blinder kind of thing like this. See this?
Kind of. Click on it.
This is where dogs are. See right here.
Okay.
The little dishes that go in. This was
Sure. I can barely see it. It's small.
Oh, is it? Dang it! Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on your screen. Philadelphia Inquirer. I don't want this. Oh, it's premium content, so we got to get out of here. Oh wait, it's not even on that. It's not even on that thing that I clicked on.
You can open that image in just open a new tab or larger or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I need to do. But it just is holding on this tab. So let me go on this other tab here. Share screen.
We'll get them back, Bill. Don't worry. We'll get those numbers back.
Yeah, I don't care. Like I'm having fun just chatting with you. But here's those walls. See, right here. So in sensitive sensor, this is where they're doing sensing out COVID, right? But shit. I like these little blinders on here too, because the reason I tell you is because it disrupts that air too. Because if we just are spinning it, I think that trail, right, of that scent can kind of permeate the other. If there's not this blinder, this blocker to kind of break that up, like when we spin that wheel, that scent still might be there, but it's going to be dissipated by that blinder. And I might be totally fucking wrong, right? But that's what I'm thinking.
Could stick to the blinder too.
Right, totally. Right, and they can hit the blinder, right, and then actually get indicated from that,
right?
You know, not just from the shaker, but also.
Yeah, scent is just so fucking cool, and it's just something I don't know enough about. I don't think anybody knows enough about it. I mean, we have masters that work scent in this world, you know, like they just said, Pat Nolan's a good one, you know, and but I don't think we know to what extent scent plays a role in our dogs' lives, especially beagles. You know,
yeah, never go wrong with Pat Nolan. I want Pat on one of these too. I've talked to him and I need to reapproach him.
Oh, did you? I'm gonna have to go back and find that one.
No, I haven't yet. I haven't had him on here.
Oh, okay.
I need to. I've approached him, but I was going to buy one of those scent wheels from him, and I think I still might. I want to buy a couple of them.
I've got no fucking room for that thing, man. I'm out of my house. You know what I mean?
Well, it collapses out too.
Oh, really?
Out. Yep, you can really collapse it down.
Oh, so it doesn't take long to.
Yeah, I think it folds out. Everything folds out,
Oh
right?
shit! Okay.
And so it can collapse down into. I don't know. Maybe
Nice.
I'm
That would
talking
be
on
awesome.
my ass, but that's it. I want to, and I geek out on this stuff, man. And that's what Bart geeks out on this stuff too. He was talking to me about like the bite work, too much ego in that shit, right? And it's
Yeah, I mean, being a new trainer, thankfully I've gotten away from that. As in, like, and by thankfully I've gotten away from that, I mean I haven't really encountered much shittiness in bite work because I think most of the bite work that I've seen is from the Nate Popo guys, at least that I've surrounded myself with, and girls,
just
obviously. Just
go to
everybody
YouTube
else.
and type in bite work and see.
I'm aware of it. I'm aware
Yeah,
of it, but
this shit's
thankfully I've
dumb.
been able to shield myself from it. But Bart's right, and I think Bart's right in saying that scent work is the future. You know, they're starting to take away the pointed ear dogs, and you get the floppy ear dogs, and you the beagle brigades, and the airports. You know, for better or worse. You know, for better or worse. But I will say they have better noses. That's all I'm saying.
220 million scent cells.
I'm just
Human beings have, if we're lucky, 120 million.
Well, I'm saying beagles they have better noses than
You better believe it.
They got better noses than but they also
what?
They'll lead you to the guy, but then they ain't gonna protect you when you find him.
Yeah, totally.
So you're kind of shit out of luck in that respect,
But dude, they'll bay, and dude, I love their like.
Yeah,
burrow.
I got my dog to do that for. She's not a noisy beagle, but I started to get her to do that for dinner, and I did it in the same. I took a Bart Balone approach to it, where I would. In the beginning, I would hold her food because she eats raw, so it's like a slurry of shit. So I'd hold her bowl in my hand, and I'd stand in front of her, and I'd wait until she barked. And she did. I took one step towards the thing, and then another step, and then another step. And I just kept chaining it and chaining it and chaining it until now she goes fucking bananas when it's a certain time, and I go into the kitchen. And then she'll do it for minutes and minutes and minutes at a time. And then free, boom, go get your food. So I love it. Some people, it's like nails on a chalkboard, but the beagle sound is just, I'm biased, but
it was a lightning day when I found out how many dog trainers hate beagles.
Yeah, I'm beginning to really feel that one. The more people I meet, and they're like, "Oh, you're the beagle guy." You know what I mean? Like, I'm the beagle guy. Well, shit.
Dude, I was like, "Oh wow, I love beagles, man. I fucking love them, dude." Like even when I was on, I went on to Action Bronson. Do you know Action Bronson?
No, I've heard of the name, but I don't know.
Hip hop artist. He had me on his show, the Action Bronson Untitled show in Brooklyn. I think in 2018, he had me as his guest, and I was training the dogs at Viceland. Oh. And one of the dogs was a beagle, man. And I was on that show talking about how much I love beagles. So
nice.
Yep, tried and true.
Presidents have had beagles, you know.
Oh, here we go, man. This is it. It's official.
We can be friends then.
George is the man.
Look, Bart Balone likes beagles, and if that guy likes beagles, that's all I need. That's all I need.
Yep, so, I need to actually. I think Pierre is his name.
Yeah, and, I think you're right. Yep, the breeder.
In France, right. And so I need to get back with him, dude. But maybe you and I should chat a little bit about doing an endeavor there, Evan.
Yeah, I think we got something there.
I think so, man.
And if people want to be privy to that conversation, that's the $100 tier on Patreon.
That's right. But and that's just going to be, they have to sign a NND, or what do you call it? I don't even know, dude. I'm so.
What did you
non-disclosure?
Say? Oh, I thought you said NFT.
An NFT. They have to sign one of my NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some NFTs, dude. I was in crypto. I was in Bitcoin, all that stuff.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it, good or bad. I don't know anything about it. That's above my pay grade, man.
It's blockchain technology. Just remember that.
Whatever a blockchain is.
It's a distributed ledger technology. It's just like Netflix. You know how we used to go to Blockbuster? Do you remember the Blockbuster video?
Yeah, I do.
Remember going renting a video? We'd rent a video. And then we would go and take it home, or a widget, whatever it is. And then we would be charged upon that widget, but you were very limited. You only had this one video that you could watch. You can fast forward it, rewind it, whatever. You can, you can't alter that video.
Right.
And then you would be take it, or then you'd be charged a late fee if you didn't take it back. You'd be charged a late fee if you didn't rewind. There's a lot of things that they could use to monetize this widget. But what happened was then Netflix came about, and they basically gave everybody distributed the entire ledger to the entire the customer base.
So you're talking about decentralizing videos.
Well, it's still centralized because it's still from Netflix, right? Netflix has it. It's just a different way of consumption. So instead of one widget, which is a physical realm, because now we have many different capabilities allowed to us because of this technological revolution, right? And then once the capabilities of storage and also streaming and all that stuff reach that point where this could make sense, and it didn't make sense to most people that couldn't see in the future. Right. And so this is essentially basically how this will disrupt a monetary system as well. It's a different type of centralization, but it's not run by governments, not run by institutions. It's
so what you're telling me is that it's anti-authoritarian, just like my
beagles, just like me too, dude.
It all comes back to beagles, man.
Dude, totally. Beagles. I think that we need to, like, beagles should be like the new Buddha.
You think?
Beagles are the new Buddha.
Okay. Just not the beaglepotamuses they turn into when they get older and they get fatter. Yeah, that kind of thing.
No, beaglepotamuses.
No. Beaglepotamus, dude. Or beaglepotami, whatever it's called plurally.
Or beaglepot, dude. I love some beaglepot. I try it. You know? See what's up to. There's dog shit. There's all this other stuff. But
with my ADHD, I don't think I'd be able to handle it. I think I would just still be bouncing off the walls and shit, you know?
Yep.
I'd have to not take my Adderall for a day to be able to actually.
Really? You have Adderall?
I do. I've had it since I was a kid. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. But it does, and that's the thing that I learned in Napopo about the dopamine jackpot, right? How the signal or the command is where all the dopamine is. And then it crashes as the dog does the work, and then it crashes to the bottom as the dog gets the reward, which is why people play slot machines all day. I pull the lever, I might win. I pull the lever, I might win. I pull the lever, I might win. Just like in the intermittent phase of reinforcement, it works. So the anticipation is where the dopamine is, right? It works the exact opposite for people with ADHD. The dopamine is in the reward, not the anticipation. So when my girlfriend says, "Are you excited to go on vacation?" I'd be like, "I will when I'm there." Right now, I can't be bothered. I'm just like, "Just leave me alone with vacation. I have work to do." That kind of thing. So
I'm right there with you, man.
I might get a slap or two, but that's, you know.
But you're being honest, you're being authentic, and it's like, dude, no, I'm not excited until I'm there. Yeah. And that's where I'd like to go on vacations where it's like vastly different landscape, because now I know on my vacation, man. Now I know I can freaking kick back. Now I know.
If it looks like Baltimore, fuck it. I'm not going. If it smells like Baltimore, fuck it. I'm not going. You know?
Yeah. I'm not going either.
Just kidding. I know, right? No, hey, man, you can say it. You know, beagles are, what's this comment over here that I see?
Beagles are good with cream cheese.
I have a game. It's called Beagle or Bagel in my house. And it's just pictures of, is this a beagle or is this a bagel? It's perfect. It might be I have Beagleopoly as well. Yep.
Let's see what we can do, dude. Here, hold on.
Look up Beagleopoly. That's a good one. I beat Ashley's ass every day in Beagleopoly.
What does Ashley do? Let's talk about her.
Puts up with me.
That's it.
Musician, classical pianist.
Is she really?
She went to college for piano.
Dude, that's where that talk comes from about like real music versus not real music, right?
Yeah.
She's the one that.
Yep. Exactly. She's the one that steps on my dreams, right? Because it crushes them. Yeah. No, she's the reason I went to gold school and silver school. So, you know, all thanks to her.
So here's a question for you. Is this a beagle? Is that a beagle or a bagel?
It's hard to tell. Let's ask George.
George. Is this a beagle or a bagel? Is this good with cream cheese, or would you have this one with locks? Locks of love.
Is it an everything beagle or an everything bagel?
Oh man. All right, dude. Well, how do people find you if they want to hire you to train their dog, dude?
The Yellow Pages, I guess.
What's that?
What's the Yellow Pages?
No, I know what they are. What
I was about to say, come on. I know you're only 25, but still, Bill,
either ought, either or,
either odds.
either ought.
So it's like Schrodinger's cat. It's either.
Oh, here we go. Or
yeah, but either or. You asked which one is it?
dude, look
Is
at
it
my
a beagle
eyes.
or a bagel?
My glasses are getting all fogged up, dude. I don't know what's going on here, but it's all this bagel talk.
I know.
This
I'm glad
bagel talk. You know.
Glad I could have that effect on you.
Yeah.
I'm glad. But no, for training, well, I'm in Baltimore, ScarletCanine.com. It's Scarlet with one T. Violators will be shot. And
Scarlet
with one T.
Is it CARLO?
E.
LETE?
LET.
LET.
Scar, and then the word let.
Ooh. Dude, that's some inner child stuff right there.
That's some of those daddy issues popping up, right?
Totally. Scarlet Canine.
Yep. Letter K and
number 9.com.
Yep. That's what I did when I was sitting out my non-compete, which, oh, believe me, we could talk another 3 hours about that bullshit. But I just built a website while I couldn't train dogs for a living.
That too, man. Well, so, George wants you to come on down for a visit. He's in Rockville.
In Maryland?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then we have Dave Cochran that's in Baltimore with you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. And go ahead and watch the live stream that I did with him.
What's his company?
What's Dave's company? Show Me Your Dog, I believe.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Show Me Your Dog. Yeah.
And what about George? Does George have a company?
George is a trainer at a place. George, where are you out of? I know that he's not doing his own thing. He's actually working in a where he can clock in and clock out. But
yeah, locally, look, man, we shouldn't be against each other. There's a lot of dog trainers in this area that there's a lot of these chains that go after people like me. But we need to be together in it instead of just trying to fucking rip each other apart.
Well, check out what Dave Cochran's doing with the cart pulling too.
Cart pulling?
Oh man,
interesting,
dude. Like 10,000, 12,000 pounds.
Jesus.
And he's got the like train tracks at his facility.
Shit.
And just stacks all these freaking rocks. Doggy Zone is where George is training at. Doggy Zone. And then
look it up.
Yeah, MD is strong on training. Yeah.
For better or worse, we're strong on training. Believe me.
Well, and keep in mind too, like these guys that I'm sending you to, Dave Cochran, and I think George is a Keeler methodology too. That's Tony over where I'm teaching you, where that's starting this ISTA KMODT course. I'm sure these guys have been through that course or learned from Tony. I'm not 100% about George, but I think he has. It's just a more eclectic knowledge base that we have. As dog trainers, but I also look at the old school stuff, man, like the stuff that not just the standards, but and a lot of it, people think that it's super harsh, and some of it is absolutely fucking harsh. It sucks. But
it's the worst of it that gets brought to the center of attention, right?
Right, or it's the misinterpretation of it, and that's what I tell people. Like they hear Keeler and they think that it's just a harsh methodology, and there's nothing that I want to do. I don't want to ever hurt a dog. That's the last thing I ever want to do. Right.
Of course.
And so, and what I found out by taking these courses was that methodology was one of the most gentle and fair methodologies that I've ever seen. Right. And so
it looks like my friend Jeff's Pomsky.
Totally, dude. I love Pomeranians.
And his Pomsky does just amazing obedience, like IGP style, amazing obedience.
This is who I took through Napopo.
Oh, really? Yeah, he brought his Pomsky.
Yep. This is who I took through Napopo.
His soulless Pomsky.
Ready? Here, let's see.
The unforced.
Hold.
Nice.
Whoops. Hold on.
Scarlet doesn't go that far. I guess it must be the anti-authoritarian in her.
Release. Good. I got to work with them again. But it's also, Skinner boxes rock. I love slap mills
Mm-hmm.
because it's like your own little Skinner box.
Right. I gotta get a slap mill. I just gotta get the room for it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got slap mills. I have a thing for slap mills. If you guys want, I have
put it all in the chat.
Yeah, I need to. Hold on, the slat. So I get mine from Fire Paw. Actually, that's what I need to do is Fire Paw, and I have an affiliate link, you guys.
Oh, there you go.
Get your slap mill from Firepaw. Make sure to use.
Go buy one. You won't have to sell bathwater anymore.
No, I'll still sell it, dude. I'm balling out, bro. Like that will be just a totally different project. The bathwater project will fund like.
And you know, if it's
my Vegas trips.
There you go. If you're feeling extra cruddy one day, like extra.
My watch collection.
If you feel extra nasty, you can sell it for more because it's even more, Bill.
Dude, well, if I am I am extra nasty too, dude. Like I can freaking, I can get funky,
Yeah, with the beard, of course you can.
Cole Medina, dude. Let me see. Who did I send this link to? Now I need to find out where this link is. Probably one of the most distracted live streams I've ever done.
I'm glad I could help, Bill. I'm glad I could help.
Oh, there it is. Firepaw treadmill.
It's like the inside of my ADHD mind. This show has been today.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. The most distracted you've ever been. That's how I live my life, man.
Firepaw.edu. Firepaw.eu. Sorry, I'm looking for this.
That's fine.
There it is. Nope, that's not it. Then, can you hear her tearing up a box or whatever here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There it is. Oh, there's a mini treadmill. So this is the treadmill that I brought to.
What brand is it?
Firepaw.
Oh, the treadmill, the slap mill.
Oh, slap mill. Sorry.
Slap mill. Okay.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man, I gotta get one. I really gotta get one.
So there's a way that you can get one on a budget. If you need to, call the company and see if there's anybody that ordered but didn't pay. Like they already have it made and it might be colors that might be a little off or something.
Right.
Like they might have a hot pink but Scarlet like that.
Okay. Yeah. It's more the space than anything.
Yeah.
I don't have the space to commit to just having that there,
Well, the cool thing is that it also is like it's where you feed them, it's where you train them.
Yeah.
Because
you can do a shitload with
table, it, right? And so it's worth it. At the end of the day, it is worth it. And that's where like I have these shipped out to some of my clients in Philadelphia that I train and urban areas because they'll have this little spot that's for their dog. Mm-hmm. And it typically takes up that area. Now they have a spot that they can run their dog in the winter time.
Do you find yourself using it a lot for?
Hey, Pecan, what are you doing? Come here. Jiminy Christmas dogs, man. What do I find? What?
Pecan. Do you find that there are applications for client dogs with your slap mill?
Totally. I mean, but the thing is that they.
Not for them, but when the dog's like with you in like a board and train setting.
Totally. Absolutely. Right. I mean, it's a toughening. It's also, it's a wonderful place to have these dogs just tethered and like you can work them. And then I'll have it as a station, as like a training station.
Nice.
Right. And I'll feed my dogs on there. I'll get them ran out. And not only that, dude, but I see that when dogs have like this, sometimes they're like in their little shell for a few days. But once they start coming out of their shell, like if they have a way to really, really kind of release some energy in a safe way, like they feel good.
Of course. Yeah.
And you can see that. And
I've got one with me right now. She's a little biter. I just got dropped off today, 10 in the morning. A little biter, but growls at you, but steps back. Doesn't growl at you and come forward. That kind of thing. So just all sorts of stress. You know what I mean?
Defensive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Getting back, right?
Can't be mad. Can't be mad. It's just the relationship with struggle is not there because it's been taken away by the owners.
Right.
The dog never has learned to deal with stress because it's been taken away by the owner. The stress has. So now that the dog has to deal with stress, that's the instinctive way to deal with it. So it lost out on that aspect of its life. So now our job is to say, all right, well, I'm going to stress you a little bit further, but it's you stress. It's good stress, you know? So that's the
It's
key, I think.
beneficial stress. It's a
Yep.
constructive
Yeah.
stress,
We're
not
going to get somewhere
destructive.
from it. Yeah.
That's right. But there's going to be a messy middle, and this
Yeah.
might look ugly, and you might think that I'm not
The
a
bad
good
guy.
guy for a second, right? But I am a good guy, and once you see that, I'm gonna see the weight of the world come off your chest, and
Yep.
and that's it. Is a lot of times people don't realize that the inability to not allow your dog to deal actually sets them up to deal exponentially heavier weight later on in life, I think.
Yeah, yeah, they're that, and that's the thing that I see with a lot of, especially smaller dogs, of course, but a lot of dogs that are just anxiety ridden or aggressive, like even just obviously aggressive is not a personality trait by any means, I don't think, but it's just a collection of behaviors. But I see that, and the inability to deal with stress properly, and over a lifetime, it's the worst shit in the world. You know, you just have dogs that wilt like flowers whenever, or wilt like flowers in the desert sun whenever something happens to them, you know?
Their inability to go deep within themselves to deal, right? And they're
Yeah, with
living on
anything.
surface tension, like
Yeah.
surface anything that breaks it, they're reacting to,
Yeah.
right? And
I
it's our
feel I feel strongly about that kind of thing, you know? We're dealing with, if I was a kid and if I was, let's say if I was in college and I was cheating off of people and I was never doing it myself and never going through that stress, or if I had a teacher that was just blah, you know, or if I had parents that never disciplined me, you know, if you do it in the right way, you discipline to the extent in which you need to. So with a dog, yes, it's discipline, but I don't like to look at it in the fact that it's discipline, but it's guidance. It's helpful guidance. You're not going to like me now, but you're going to fucking love me later. And I'll deal with the fact that you don't like me now. I'll own board that stress to myself.
Yeah.
But I can counterbalance that with the knowledge that you're going to be so much more than you think that you ever can be. So,
and there will
that's
be
my
a point in
2 cents
our
on it.
relationship that it literally is a turning point.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, see? And the
Yeah.
dog's like, oh man.
Mhm.
And that's where real bonding happens, and that's where real communication and real trust. But that trust is the foundation, but also to trust that you can carry the weight of their burden while they learn the lessons that they need to, right? And it's like,
Right.
because it's not you have the observer role, but also we're keeping our eye on the big prize, which is them actually existing in the world in a calm, confident way.
Yeah.
Where the stress is not a part of their daily life. And I have to remind my clients, like, you think your dog's being cute running around like an idiot right now, but they're stressed out to the max.
Yeah, people don't know what a stressed dog looks like. They think my dog's panting because he's happy. Look, he's got a smile on his face.
That's right.
It's just, yeah, George is right.
Something
You know?
needs to be stressed for growth to occur, but not.
Absolutely.
And when I say stress, I mean like in a directive and a constructive way. Like it's
Yep.
not just this like diffusing of stress. It's a spinning of tires. There's a why behind everything that we do, and that why gives us that power of actually covering ground,
Yeah.
building rapport. Rapport is power, right? Connecting with that dog, and what do you say?
Sorry, stress is directional. It can either set you back or it can set you forward. Too much of it sets you back. But if it's just enough to where you can get over it, sets you forward. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Bill.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just this dog over here is killing me. She's just tearing apart this box and just blissed out, man. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But it's also, it's what do you tell people? What would you say to somebody? Because I had a lady say this. I said to her, you need to connect with your dog. And she was like, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. What would you say to somebody? Would you ever tell somebody to connect with their dog first? Or if they ask what that means, what would you say to them?
Be empathetic in a way that you can understand. You know, why just essentially put yourself in their shoes.
Become the dog by proxy. See the world through their eyes, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And think, you know, what can, and it's been said by many dog trainers. I'm not the one who came up with this, believe me, but it's like, what can I do for my dog? Not what can my dog do for me? What do I want for, not from my dog? So I've had a lot of success with that, and because owners don't understand that that's how they think a lot of the time. What can I get from my dog? I want my dog to stop doing this. I want my dog to stop doing that. And if you can pinpoint, well, you should think, what do you want for your dog? Why is your dog doing that? And what can we do for them to have them not do that in the future? Can we give them access to something else? Do we teach obedience so they have a better bond with us? And later on, I can punish that behavior if I need to. Or is there something wrong with my dog emotionally or mentally or physically? Your dog might not be great. They have hip dysplasia and you don't know it. That's a shitty kind of turn of events. But
it is a turn of events that's truthful, and it is what it is. And I'm dealing with dogs right now in Idaho. I flew down there to work with these dogs. I had a full medical checkup on them. We had the MRI, CAT scan, everything, because we had some onset of some aggressive behavior. And everything was going forward with the training and the tools and everything that we had, until we realized that he had a pretty severe urinary tract infection. And then we noticed that there was something that was wrong with his penis, and that he actually had a bulbous part that was gathering urine that was a breeding ground for bacteria. And so this dude had a chronic infection for quite a while. And then once we got him on strong bacteria or strong antibiotics. But when the client called me, and she said that we were out to dinner when I was in Sun Valley meeting with them, and they said that, dude, when like we loved it when we came up to you and we told you about the UTI, and you said everything stops. Everything stops. Like, we need to deal with this first and foremost. And that's it, man. With the newbie, excuse me, with the new information, we have to act on it. And I couldn't go forward with hurting. I mean, having a dog that's hurting, or that is just like you were saying, if they have hip dysplasia or anything, when you're hurt or when you're uncomfortable, are you going to be the same person that you are normally? Right. No.
Not at all. I have a friend who has a 4-year-old dog that has had issues for a while, but was getting increasingly shitty, like coming out of the crate with some people, or, when there were storms, that kind of thing. And found out that this dog has pretty severe hip dysplasia. It's a 4-year-old purebred dog. And it was kind of shocking, but
it makes sense. It starts to make sense.
Yeah. I asked her, I was like, so what do you do now? She's like, well, I don't know. I said, well, now you just do cool shit with him that he likes to do, that he can do, So, and she knew that, but you can't be doing sports, you can't be doing any sort of that stuff anymore. But hey, there's scent. There's stuff like that, but everything stops. You're right.
Everything stops until we get a handle on this, or until we know exactly what it is and how to fix it. Because and then I was like, do we do surgery? And then the doctor's like, look, the surgery doesn't really work out. And so I'm like, so is there a cleaning protocol now? What do we do? Like, but that's it, man. Quality of life, Maslow. Just like we were talking at the beginning here. That's basically what we're reflecting on. When the dog is at that pinnacle, then we're working with the dog in the lap of luxury. But we also have to realize, in the lap of luxury, there is no struggle. And sometimes we have to invent that struggle that dog can, go through, because that's where their strength lies. And to, we have to do it, man.
Yep. So. Absolutely. Well, I can't wait to have Pat back on so he can tell me how wrong I am about Maslow.
Yeah, dude. Then we'll have to go back on again and be like, we thought we knew it all.
I know.
But here we are.
We'll have to have another 2-hour conversation about it.
Yeah, man. And then we'll have Ashley playing in the background. Very sad. Like,
she'll have to keep up with exactly what we're talking about.
Dude, she can do it. She can
Maybe.
Do it. But just have her wear headphones and put an e-collar on. No, just kidding.
Exactly. Half of it's going to be fucking carnival music,
Totally.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. We went from dying dogs to fucking bathwater to, manifesting shit. So,
to energetic, your higher energetic self in heaven. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Right. To stinky Baltimore streets.
And then slap mills.
And slap mills. That's right. So
right.
I put a link up if you guys want a slap mill. They got like 4 people with us. So All right, dude. Well, let's end it before
Yeah.
we start going on another tangent. And
I can smell dinner, so I'm sure.
oh, dude, I'm getting hungry.
With every
She's starting
passing
to
minute.
tear up that box again. All right,
Well, it's
man.
9 o'clock over here, so.
Is it really? Yeah,
Yep.
it's 6 o'clock over here. Well, stay right there, Evan. I'll say goodbye to you in the studio, but everybody
Sure.
else, au revoir, arrivederci.